Hi folks, hope you are doing good. On today's video, we are going to unbox and review a big phone, the biggest iPhone ever made, the iPhone 12 Pro Max. The Pro Max 6.7-inch display is the greatest screen ever on an iPhone. It has the biggest camera sensor of any iPhone, including the 3 other iPhone 12 models Apple announced this year. It has a 5G radio and it got a bigger battery. While it is expensive, it's not much more expensive than the smaller iPhone 12 Pro. It is just $100 more at every storage level, starting at $1,099 with 128 GB storage and going up to $1,399 for 512 GB storage. For that money, you will get a bigger display, bigger battery and a very different camera system. I will just cut to the chase and say it is absolutely worth it over the standard 12 Pro if you can deal with the size. There is just no getting around it. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is a very big phone. The measurements don't tell the whole story by the numbers. It's just a little bit bigger than the 12 Pro Max. But the new design with flat sides make it feel much larger than it is and makes slightly harder to hold than an iPhone with the curved sides. It is also a bit heavier than other big phones like Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra and iPhone 12 Pro Max, which makes it feel even bigger. The combination of the size and flat sides basically demands a case to make it easier to hold, which makes the whole thing even bigger. It is still workable, but it is right on the edge of being too big. I think the size is a reflection of the increased choice. This year Apple has more iPhone sizes available than even before, including the diminutive iPhone 12 mini, so it had the ability to push the Max even further. Aside from the larger size, the main thing that sets the iPhone Pro Max apart from the rest of the iPhone 12 line is the camera system, which is substantially different and more capable than other cameras on the smaller 12 and 12 Pro. The basics are the same as 12 Pro. 3 cameras including one wide, one ultra wide and one tele with an LiDAR sensor enables the portrait photos on the wide camera in night mode. Night mode is available at all 3 zoom levels now, which is an improvement over the iPhone 11. The ultra wide camera is the same as on the 12 and 12 Pro, and it is noticeable improvement over the ultra wide on 11 Pro. I think it is useful and fun to have an ultra wide, but still makes medium quality photos compared to the main camera. The 12 Pro Max uses the sensor shift stabilization, which moves the sensor itself around to reduce the vibrations. Apple tells that the move of the sensor shift stabilization on the 12 Pro Max was more about making the sensor size work on its standards than overall performance. But the system on the 12 Pro Max is slightly more effective at reducing the wider range of vibrations than the IOIs on the 12 Pro. The bigger sensor also has an impressive maximum ISO, which is a measurable of light sensitivity. The iPhone 11 Pro had a top ISO of 3072 and regular iPhone 12 Pro has a top ISO of 5808 and the 12 Pro Max has a top ISO of 7616. As the number goes up, the amount of noise at any given ISO tends to go down, which means the images from the iPhone 12 Max are generally less noisy than the 12 Pros. It produced terrific colorful photos with excellent details in lighting situations, and other phones start to struggle. We have seen Android phone makers like Samsung and Huawei use much bigger sensors this year with a variety of complicated techniques to make them work. But Apple's approach of pairing a moderate sensor size gem with its focus on improved processing has kept in the lead. Lastly, I have to mention the selfie camera, which is stubbornly the same as the other iPhone 12s. Many people will use the selfie camera more often than the telephoto or ultra-wide cameras. It is well overdue for the serious improvement. Now about iPhone 12 Pro Max display. Apart from the cameras, the rest of the iPhone 12 Pro Max is very similar to the iPhone 12 Pro. The display is obviously bigger, but it is just as the bright and colorful, and the pixel density is essentially the same. And there is not a ton of more information present on the big screen by default. I think that's a shame. This is everything veering into the tablet territory in terms of size, and I would like to see Apple allow app developers to make better use of all this real estate. Disappointingly, the iPhone 12 Pro Max still has a 60Hz refresh rate display, while virtually every Android phone above $600 is now at 120Hz. This was maybe possible on standard 12, but on the 12 Pro is especially Pro Max, I think it is a miss. Buy it if you want a best battery life. While adding 5G has definitely meant 2020 iPhone has slipped backwards in battery life. In bigger cases of the iPhone Pro Max, that means you are getting longer times between the charges compared to smaller 12 models. Buy it if you want the best iPhone camera. The pictures you can get from 12 Pro Max are amazing at times, natural and sharp and well enhanced automatically. The larger sensor can absorb mild light, but it does not offer a huge improvement over the 12 Pro, which is a little surprising. The camera unit really protrudes from the rear of 12 Pro Max. It wobbs on the table if you like to tapping out the message without picking your phone. It sounds small, but it's something we keep noticing when reviewing. So in our conclusion, if you are looking for the best iPhone on the market, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is it. It is powerful, has the longest battery life on the iPhone we have ever tested in 2020, and the camera is top notch. You will need to be ready to carry the extra heft, as this is also the biggest iPhone of all time, and the cost is not to be sniffed at. But we are adding an extra half star for all those iPhone fans that just want the best Apple can bring. The iPhone 12 Pro Max managed to do that rather well. Hope you like this video. If you like, please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.